What if everything you believed about being behind in life was based on a number that was never real to begin with? Because by age 45, you're told you're supposed to be sitting on nearly $1 million. And if you're not, something must be wrong with you. That's the assumption. But it's wrong. Completely. It's Saturday morning. Dave is standing in his kitchen in sweatpants, holding a cup of coffee that's gone cold, not because he forgot it, but because he hasn't moved for 11 minutes. His phone is still in his hand. The dishwasher is running. His daughter is watching cartoons in the next room. And on his screen is a headline. Average American aged 45-54 has nearly $1 million in net worth. Dave is 45. Dave does not have $1 million. What he does have is a 401k he avoids checking, a mortgage with over 2 decades left, and a Parent Plus loan statement sitting unopened on the counter. And one question he can't shake. Am I behind? Or is this number completely fake? Here's the answer. The number is misleading. Not slightly wrong. Structurally misleading. Because it comes from the average. And averages don't describe reality when wealth is uneven. They describe distortion. Let's break it down. The $1 million net worth figure is pulled from Federal Reserve data. It sounds impressive, but it hides something critical. Averages are pulled upward by extreme wealth. A handful of ultra-wealthy households shift the entire number. So the average 45-year-old looks rich on paper, even if most are not. Now let's look at reality. The median net worth for Americans aged 45-54 is about $247,000. That is the real middle point. Not influenced by billionaires. Not inflated by outliers. Just the actual center of the population. And already, the story changes completely, because we went from almost 1 million to about 1/4 of that. But even that number is deceptive, because most of it is not liquid. It is not accessible. It is not spendable. Roughly 60-70% of that net worth is locked in home equity. So if Dave is sitting at $247,000 total, around $160,000 of that is tied to his house, which leaves him with roughly $87,000 in actual usable wealth. That includes savings, retirement, emergency funds, everything. One unexpected medical bill can erase it. One job loss can overwhelm it. That's the reality behind the $250,000 net worth. And it gets sharper when you look at retirement. Financial benchmarks say that by age 50, you should have around 6 times your annual salary saved. For someone earning around $117,000, that's roughly $700,000 in retirement accounts. Now compare that to reality. The median 401k balance for this age group is $60,000, not 6 times salary. Not even close. Less than 1 year of income. And when you combine all retirement accounts, the median rises only to about $115,000. Still nowhere near the target. And then comes the part most people don't talk about. Debt. The average Gen X household carries around $150,000 in total debt. That includes mortgages, car loans, credit cards, and often student loans, sometimes even loans taken for their children. Credit cards alone are now carrying interest rates above 20% in many cases, which means debt is not just existing, it's actively growing. Faster than savings. Now layer in real-life pressure. This is the sandwich generation. More than half of people in their 40s are financially supporting both their children, their aging parents at the same time. Dave is one of them. He pays for his mother's assisted living. He supports his kids. He carries household expenses. He is not careless with money. He is overloaded by responsibility. And this is the part that breaks most financial advice. Because none of the traditional numbers account for this pressure. You cannot maximize retirement contributions while paying for elder care. You cannot aggressively invest while supporting adult children. And you cannot pretend these things don't affect cash flow. But the system does. Then there is inheritance, a concept many people quietly rely on. But the reality is far smaller than expected. The average inheritance for most households is under $10,000, and most of the wealth transfer everyone talks about? It is heavily concentrated in already wealthy families, meaning it reinforces inequality rather than fixing it. For most people, inheritance is not a financial reset. It is a small addition at best. Then comes Social Security, and here the timeline matters. By 2035, projections show the system may only be able to pay about 77% of promised benefits unless changes are made, which means reduced payouts unless policy shifts occur. And for someone in their mid-40s today, that future arrives right at retirement age. Not later, right on time. So where does that leave Dave? He is not broke. He is not rich. He is not failing. He is simply inside a system where wealth is tied up in housing retirement savings lag. Behind expectations, debt compounds faster than income, family responsibilities overlap generations, and future benefits are uncertain. But here is the part that changes everything. At 45, time is not gone. It is just compressed. There are still about 20 years of compounding left. And that matters more than most people realize, because compounding does not require perfection. It requires consistency. Even modest contributions can shift outcomes. Saving around $700 to $1,000 per month consistently can build $400,000 to $600,000 by retirement, not luxury wealth, but stability, control, options, the ability to absorb shocks instead of being destroyed by them. So what does Dave do? He stops avoiding the numbers. He increases his retirement contribution. He automates investing. He makes small but consistent changes. Not dramatic, not risky, just structured. And that one shift, over time, creates a different future version of the same life. So where does that leave you? Not compared to the average, not compared to headlines, but compared to time. Because the real question was never, how much are you worth today? It is, what will you do with the time you still have? Because the average 45-year-old is not failing. They are just trying to win a game that was never explained to them properly. And now, at least, you can see the scoreboard clearly.